Welcome back to Let's Talk Comics. I'm Steven Xavier,
I'm Josh Henshaw.
and this week we're talking about Martian Manhunter, issue 3, I believe.
Wow, dude. First off, give him the title screen, okay? We are
Omega Level.
Omega Level.
Omega Level.
Omega Level.
Omega Level.
God, dude.
Omega
Is this
Level.
his
Omega
first time? Like, I'm so confused. I am so confused here. Jeez, it feels like I'm working with two Nicks here.
Wow.
Yeah, wow,
first of
indeed.
all, I'm like the fourth of the size of like one Nick, so.
That's true. That's true. I mean, he takes up the whole room. You guys can't tell we have to use so much special effects to get Nick in this booth. It's crazy. But anyways, Martian
I
Manhunter.
think we're actually the first people to use green screen to downsize somebody.
Yeah, speaking of green.
I don't think that's how it works. Green flesh,
Woo!
not to be racist.
Yeah, screw you, Goldflesh. I don't know what that means. But I'm with Martian, okay? I'm with John Jones.
John Jones.
John Jones. Third issue, Martian Manhunter going strong, picking up pretty well after the first two.
Art's still great.
Mm-hmm. That hasn't really fell at all so far. It's only 3 issues in, but there's still no noticeable difference in that. The paint, the coloring is real good as well. But right from the jump, you got to see a unfamiliar face, a little girl, I believe, teenager probably, maybe?
Yeah, they're the one that they've been investigating since the first issue. She disappeared.
Yep.
Now we get to finally see where she is.
But we still don't know where she is. But
She's got a device on her head.
yeah, a little fishbowl.
Yeah,
It's a little more advanced than that, but
yeah, it has gas in it.
is it gas?
Oh, I mean,
Liquid?
we see that at the end.
Okay, yeah, it's true. Very fun thing. Spoilers. God, what is this?
Her flesh is crawling.
She's freaking out this whole time. She's giving us, kind of giving us a clue of what's going on around her, but without
She's
any
also,
sort of
like,
context.
got someone talking to her.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't talking. You hear my slams, I am mighty Thor. Sorry, that's Marvel. I'm really impressed with this storytelling. The narrative seems really engaging. You know, it's kind of seeing the both worlds. You see a lot of Martian Manhunter on his home planet talking about how he came here in this issue and why he took over John Jones, like the detective.
We don't see much of his homeworld in this issue because he just gets ripped from his family and like onto Earth. I don't remember like the Martian name for it. It's like Themidara or something like that. But
Not going to try to pronounce these names.
within 2 minutes, Martian Manhunter kills his first human.
Yep, accidental.
Unintentionally.
Yeah, definitely accidental. He's stripped from his family within seconds, and he's just in this tube in front of an old man that is just blown away because first off, he saw an alien and summoned an alien.
Great idea.
Yep, smart. Sure, why not? You have no idea what you're dragging. I guess he had coordinates to pinpoint this area. He knew life was there somehow.
I'm aiming for Mars. There might be something.
There might be something. And then Martian, obviously, he was upset, so he slammed against the glass, and he caused this old man to have a heart attack. So that was technically his first human kill.
Strong brain, weak heart.
Yeah, 100%.
His name was Erdl.
Stephen Erdl, what's good with you?
Stephen Erdl.
What's good with you? This one we saw when he became John Jones and why he decided to do that. It's like when someone dies on his home planet, everyone pays respects by looking like that Martian.
Yeah, for one cycle.
For one cycle, which I believe was 7 days.
Well, he said
I can't remember the
he
days.
said on Earth dates it's roughly like 10 Earth days.
10 Earth days. Okay. That's pretty cool. They pay respects by looking like them so their loved ones can have one last little, moment with them before the passing of life.
It's pretty touching and actually like pretty beautiful when you think about it.
Mm-hmm. And the only problem with that is that John Jones felt safe.
Yeah, he
As
liked
a
being
human.
seen too much.
Yep, he liked being seen. He ended up going in, and when he got Detective John Jones, he was in a mess. He was just coming up on a serial killer.
Crazy person.
Crazy person that can see people's names, I believe, or faces.
He dreamt the names of his victims, so then he'd just go out and kill them.
Yeah, and as soon as he sees John Jones, he's like, "You weren't in my dream."
Yeah, he's like, "Wait, you're different. You're beautiful."
Turned into an awesome monster. Kind of had like a shark head. I don't know if you got that vibe.
He had like tendrils coming out of his mouth.
That was intense.
He freaked out everyone that was like in those cages so bad that they just, I guess, were in too much of shock to remember anything, except for like one guy that was like talking on the media.
It's cool because he's trying to show to the killer what it looks like to the victims, like the fear that they have, but it didn't work. He kind of went too far and scared the victims even more than they needed to be.
And I think he just went like too hard on the actual psychopath. I think he just killed that guy.
Yeah, it's kind of up in the air. You see blood all over him, but I don't know if that was just because he wanted to give him a fright, if that's actually I think he killed him. He's on the floor, blood all over his face in that panel. We don't see him again.
It's probably fear stink.
Fear stink. I like that. Patent pending. Fear stink.
Well, he said that to like that first Martian that he was beating in the first issue. That's just stuck with me. He's like, I'll spread your fear gas everywhere or something. I don't remember.
You're immediately like, fear stink. That's how we roll.
I thought it was funny. I also think that like he had the impression, like however briefly he met John Jones, he had an impression of like the kind of person that he was. That he was admired and he was loved and feared by some, but mostly just respected. And he just knew that he was a great person, and that his legacy did not deserve to end how it ended.
And honestly, after this read, it's probably in my top 3, if not my number 1 Marvel movie. Wait, we're DC Comics. Switching it up. Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, I'd say top 3, if not my number 1, like Martian Manhunter issues that's out so far. Even though John Jones got shot in his fake heart that he didn't need, apparently he still needs more protein so he can properly heal.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. He needs food.
So I thought that was funny. I was like, okay, man, you're almost on the level of Superman, but apparently a bullet can actually do some like decent damage to him.
Well, he's also set on fire. Well, no.
Oh yeah, he did
he's
burn
completely
a bit.
set up. Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
He's been through a lot so far.
he takes some damage.
Yep. And I think it's funny dealing with these superpowers, and because I was looking up a little bit on Amadeus Cho, just how often people, and it's in most in animes too, and characters that have these superpowers, is that they need so much food. To be like, it's always a key thing. Like they're always like, oh, I need this much food.
Well, at least he specifically just needed protein. So she just gives him like some raw
eggs. He's
stuff.
just shoving them down. And during this, Diane's like, why should I trust you? I still can't get over that. I should just leave, walk away.
He's like, are you my partner or not? I need to know.
Mm-hmm.
But he starts like, I think her fear was like influencing his like psychic abilities, and I think he's like showing her some stuff that he didn't even really intend to, I think.
Yep, her thoughts were very. I know she said something about. He said something about her thoughts being so strong. That's why he was able to read them.
He's like, I know you're thinking about telling, but like, who would believe you? People would think that you're crazy. They'd probably put you in a ward. How can you trust me? How do you know that I didn't kill Jones? How do you know I'm not going to kill you?
Yeah,
which I thought was like kind of
like
intimidating of him to say that. It's like,
and in the panel's really cool too, because they have that whole psychedelic, like the vibrations coming off of Diane, like she's having this existential crisis, and then him has his face where it's kind of looks like his Martian form while also being John Jones. Man, that was really cool.
Yeah, going back to like when he decided to stay as Jones, I like that. Like he phases out for a moment, so you see him like as a Martian, then one panel later, and I'll stick with it.
I'll just stick with it. He hasn't given a reason to have no trust from her, other than obviously he's a Martian and he
for all
lied.
these years.
yeah, but I mean, he was by her side the entire time. Correct?
Yeah. I mean, I'd be uncomfortable too, but like, when did the change happen?
When did the change? Exactly, because it didn't really skip a beat. She never acknowledged that he acted weird, he acted different, so.
Yeah, good acting on his part.
Yep. I assume that he gets the memories. He said that, right?
I'm not sure.
I know he has some sort of connection emotionally, but I don't know if it's actually like, okay, I remember your whole life. I feel like he would, because he never skipped a beat on naming people. Like he knew their names, but also he can read their minds. So.
Oh yeah, he probably didn't have that role.
Yeah,
at the
he has
moment,
telepathy.
Like, I'm not touching people's minds.
Yeah, it could be. It was an autopsy that they found out this dude was, I guess, forced to drink gas.
Yeah, painful all the way down. He had burns all around his mouth and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Had cuts on him too, so obviously his body was like messed up as well.
And I think the gas was so diluted with water that they knew where to go to. Like, come on, Xavier, we know what you do.
Cut back to the very first panel. They show us the girl again, all these different dialogue bubbles. Obviously, something's kicking in. The gas is doing something now. It's actually the machine is activated, and then.
Oh, she's also like says her skin is crawling and stuff. So.
Yep,
don't know what's going down with that. If she's like transforming into something or what.
Mm-hmm.
But then we see finally like what's been talking to her, and it looks like some sort of red Martian. It's a red something. Maybe it's a Manus.
And Blabes the Manhunters. Before we do anything, let's give it to my man in the booth. Jersh, what you got for us?
Omega Level Podcast is proudly sponsored by Epico's Comics, Cards, Games. Epico's is your one-stop shop for all your comic book, tabletop, and card gaming needs. Featuring collectibles, statues, artwork, highly graded comics, video games, a separate game room, and even a tabletop game rental service, Epico's has it all. Every week, Epico's is stocked with the newest comic book releases, variant covers, and the capability to order what you need. So start a pull list and never miss an issue. Epico's has 2 locations, Chattanooga and Hickson. So come on by and find what you're looking for.
Woo! Man, that was a heck of a sponsor. That guy sounded pretty sexy, if I do say so myself. He's a good guy. He's an informative person, you know. He was at my my wedding. He was one of my groomsmen.
He was at my bris.
Wow, really?
No.
But now that we have finished up the series, the talk of issue 3 of Martian Manhunter, and now
this is it. There's no closure.
There's no closure?
No, this is just how it ends.
But the episode's not over. Shouldn't we continue?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Martian Manhunter.
Oh, no, Martian's done.
Yeah,
like
that's just
the
wrapped.
series is
Yeah.
over. Nothing to talk about. Left you on a cliffhanger.
All right.
But seriously, guys, can I have a soft moment for our march to Endgame is over. Captain Marvel has been talked about. They talked about Ant-Man and Wasp before that, and we don't have anything to fill. So while we're on DC, we're going to throw in a little bit of an animated movie called Batman Ninja.
Came out
Nice surprise.
last year.
Last year.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You watched it dubbed. I watched it subbed.
2 different movies, basically. It's how we roll. You know, you get a feel for each one. You know, I got the English one. I mainly did that because I am familiar with some of the voice actors and actresses. I mean, Tara Strong, OG Harley. I mean, come on.
And I just wanted to read a movie.
And he just wanted to read a movie. It had some things that I could have used without for sure. Art style was brave. It was taking storytelling to a next level. I thought I was like, man, this could actually be presented across many animated films if done
You
properly.
didn't care for the animation?
At times, it from the beginning, from the first 10 minutes, it didn't feel like there was a lot of money involved. I don't know. It
Yeah,
felt kind of like, oh, this is
It
kind
felt a
of
little
choppy.
stiff at the
Yeah,
beginning.
felt real stiff. Cool intro. Like the intro story-wise. But you can see from the progression of the whole film, and that's usually how most things go unless you're Disney. But you get to that final fight scene. I'm not going to say it yet. But that was crisp. That was definitely their top.
Who could it be against? Joker?
Oh, no, that's crazy. Batman never fights the Joker last. He fights him first, and that's what he did in this movie.
Yeah, I think
That
you
actually
can tell
made me
that they
laugh.
saved most of the budget for like the mecha transformations.
And that's what I was talking about. I don't think we needed that. That was crazy cool, I guess, until they added like the magic flute that Grodd uses to summon
God.
his army of monkeys.
That was so funny.
Which, by the way, monkeys, Planet of the Apes. That's how we do it. Boom! Let's go. You know
I
when
knew you
Steven
were- I knew
watched
you were
it.
gonna
You
love
knew
that.
when you saw
I
it.
knew it. I typically don't care for this style of animation where they have like 3D models, but I actually kind of dug it for most of this movie,
He
which
dug
kind
it?
of surprised her. But I think it's just because the coloring, like on the actual like models and stuff, and the backgrounds were mostly like excellent. They had like a few sky transitions that I liked a lot.
Well, and two, when anything's set in this feudal Japan era, the music is on point. Love that music. Love the score for this whole movie.
That's probably the least detective Batman since Nolan Batman.
Yeah, but they did the whole thing like, what's the man without his technology? What is
Yes.
Batman without a bunch of money and a bunch of tech?
He's like, well, I still got my body.
Well, it's Shingaku Batman. That's what it is. And you also got to see Ninja Batman at the end. I thought that was cool. Did you notice they did that? It was
It's
Samurai
Sengaku.
Batman. So this is basically the origin story for Ghost of Tsushima. You could start out as a ninja, but finish a samurai, or vice versa.
I want to know the implications of how history has changed.
Well,
'cause
you showed
things-
it the after credit scene. Did you watch it?
Oh, they had like this little like
Well, he's in a modern town, and he was in Japan still, and he had a bat symbol on his car, so he is
Yeah.
clearly like
Powered by
coveted in that.
horses.
Yeah, I believe he's coveted in that
Oh.
area now. Like he is Japan's hero.
I really liked Catholic missionary Batman,
There we go. Boom.
like monk-looking Batman. He had the bat symbol shaved on the back of his head. Looked
Man,
more
that
like a
made.
tattoo.
I'm sorry, I rolled my eyes
I thought that
hard.
was so funny.
I was like, okay, yeah, that's really hiding your identity. They're looking for the bat symbol, and it's boom on his head. Surely no one. Before I get it too ahead, I laughed so hard when he first had encounter. The teleportation starts out from the beginning of this movie where Grodd's creating something, and Batman's going to infiltrate. He's going to stop these things. Well, he instantly teleports to another dimension, and along with everybody else that's involved: Grodd, Joker, Deathstroke,
Two-Face,
Poison Ivy, Two-Faced. Did I say Harley? It's
Joker, and Harley.
Joker and Harley, and the least toxic relationship they've had in a movie in relations. I mean,
Yep.
it's probably still the same, but they did not. There was no violence involved. They actually seemed very caring. But when he gets there and he fights the samurais, the people wearing Joker masks, and like, we want the bat dead. He throws a smoke bomb down, and usually he'll grapple away.
Yes, oh my god.
But he looks up and he's like, there is no 2-story buildings here. Just runs to the left.
That was so funny. I was like,
That
man,
was-
he's too addicted to just being like, I gotta get
Boom,
out of here.
get out of here. And he's like, I'm just gonna run. Man, that was awesome. I'm glad that they put something like that in there. But it was showing like Batman, you have to overcome these adversities. You have to think outside of the box, which is what Batman's known for. He's a
Yeah.
very smart,
Yeah,
intelligent
but
person
he's used to thinking outside the box with a ton of gadgets.
with a ton of gadgets and Alfred in his ear, and he's like, "Ooh, what do you want me to do, sir?" Which also threw me off when they brought in Alfred.
yeah, I thought that was
Like
pretty
they just
funny
knew
'cause-
he was gonna be like they knew the teleport thing. Like there was a lot of plot holes I didn't care for, but that didn't
Yeah, I
really
was gonna
ruin the movie.
I was gonna say, yeah, everyone else had the device that Grodd gave them, but I don't think Alfred had that. It also the entire Batcave. He had the Batmobile too.
Well, it wasn't the entire Batcave, but they had the Batmobile. But that tells me that Selena was planning this all along because she's the one that brought him. Like, she mentioned something like that. Like, none of that made sense to me.
Yeah, it was
I was like, oh, that's
off.
kind of just thrown in there. Like, I'm just supposed to just be like, oh, okay, time travel. Yeah.
Just roll with it.
That's why I don't like time travel most of the time, because I don't feel like the people that are writing the story actually know how it works. Well, first off, no one knows how time travel works. But, I mean, we can't time travel, so I just safe to assume that no one has perfected time travel.
There's 3 methods. There's the Back to the Future method.
Boom.
There's the time cop method.
Boom.
Which is just plain silly.
Silly.
And that's it. That's all I got.
Viewers, I apologize for my co-host here saying...
I think one person gets that reference.
And that's what it's for. Not you, Jeff.
That's for you, Matt.
Not for you, Jeff. The art style did pick up for me, and they had one segment after they beat the Joker. There was an explosion. Joker sacrificed himself. I thought Bat was gonna die.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, they're really gonna kill
that, but whatever.
Yeah. He was asleep for 2 days. Alfred showed up, and he didn't even blink an eye. He was just like, oh, hey, Alfred, what's going on? Drinks his tea, and he's like, wait, Alfred?
Black tea?
Yeah, black tea. Alfred? But he explodes, so they think Joker's dead. Boom. That's all she wrote, right?
Joker thought he was dead.
Yeah, even Joker thought he was dead. Well, they get to, I guess, it does another jump forward kind of thing and completely changes the art style.
Yes.
Like, kind of looked poorly drawn, but at the same time, really well drawn. I don't know how to describe that art style. I'm not familiar with.
It looked like that one music video for Take On Me.
Yeah, with color.
But with color.
Yeah. I was about to say
That's the best I could describe that.
Yeah, I could say that. They went to go check on him, and that was actually Red Hood that went first.
Yeah, when that transition happens, when I was literally just asking, I was like, where's Red Hood been at this entire movie? Because it's like right when Batman's like, I've got my body, and I've got the Bat Clan, and I've got you guys. And it just shows like Robin, Red Robin, and Nightwing. And I was like, they've mentioned Red Hood like 5 times in this movie. Where is he?
Yeah, and since we're reading Justice League Odyssey and they keep talking about the old gods and new gods, and like this kind of had an old god feel. I mean, they have a Bat God, basically. They didn't say God, but he was the hero that would come in a prophecy. Yeah, the Bat Lord. There's a Bat Clan dedicated to Batman. He's just like, he held back a smile. He was like, if I'm not being honest, it looked like he was trying to hold back a smile. He just goes, huh.
Batman does that a lot.
I mean, he just got basically called a god in this movie. He's like, you're the guy that's supposed to save us.
He's like, I can't let down my people. They think I'm a lord.
Yeah, they think I'm a lord. Lord Batman.
Switch over to finally see what Red Hood's been doing. He's got like a nice little like wheat basket, which looks pretty cool. It's like he's got like a 3-foot helmet on.
And honestly, I'm mad at myself for not catching who that was immediately. I was like, who is this little punk beating up this guy? I mean, I know it's the Joker, but like he's acting pretty nice. Joker and Harley don't seem crazy. They seem like
you can't
farmers.
trust them. Come on, dude.
You can't. And you know, and
Have
Batman
you learned
even
nothing?
yeah, and Batman gets there because he's beating the Red Hood's beating the mess out of Joker
I thought
and
he
Harley.
actually killed him.
It seemed like it. They
This
were
little, like
beating him.
handmade flintlock.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought he put it into him, and I was like, "Oh wow, that just happened."
Yep, Red Hood's the one to do it. Batman would never.
Of course, Batman shows up just in time.
Yep, and he's like, no, I've seen this before. They seem different. They don't have the crazy in their eyes.
He's like, "Yeah, you can always see the murderous intent in psychopaths. You can always tell that they're hiding it, but I saw no intent here."
And
Well,
they
that's
leave.
because there was none. Apparently, Joker somehow had like he had his own contingency plan. He did lose his memories, but he planted like this little thing to where like as soon as it sprouted, it would somehow bring back all the memories. I'm not sure how he planned that out. He pulled like a light move right there.
And they both, as soon as the plan goes, they walk away. The smile comes back.
Yeah,
they
as
both
he's
just
wiping,
hysterically.
like, the blood from his nose.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
I was like, God, outsmarted Batman. What are you, Bat? What are you?
A poor detective in feudal Japan.
But then obviously this kicks up, and then you find Batman trying to regroups with everybody: Robin, Nightwing, Red Hood, and honestly, MVP is Monkey Chi.
Oh my gosh. That had a very touching moment at the end with Robin.
Yes.
When he just said goodbye. I thought that was so cute.
It's this little monkey that Robin apparently can talk to, and it can talk to Robin. They're like, I don't know what it is. They made a little quip about it, but I don't remember the exact wording. Nightwing said something about it. But he got a note, and it was told to have Batman meet him, I think, at a mountain, some sort of
like
mountain.
some sort of hot springs, probably up in like the hills or mountains.
And he goes there, and obviously Grodd, you see Grodd in the springs.
Along with like just surrounded by a harem of monkeys.
Monkeys everywhere. And he's talking out loud like he knows that, obviously, Batman's there. 3 scenes like that. Batman did it, Joker did it, and Grodd did it, where they're talking and then Like it seems like they're talking crazy, but then they show the person behind them, so you're like, oh, okay, you're not losing your mind.
Yeah, that's when he first sees Joker in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
It was Harley somehow with like an excellent Joker disguise.
Love her outfit in this.
Oh,
Still
yeah.
traditional, but man, looks so good.
So anime.
Mm-hmm. It really was. She's all like,
Yeah, acting like a typical like
Hammer looked
cutesy
awesome.
girl.
Want to touch on that is the only thing I didn't like about I never liked the Joker Harley Quinn relationship. It's just toxic, terrible. He was definitely going to let her die if Batman wasn't typical Batman. The whole hand thing, like Harley wouldn't have been able to move if that hand would have crushed down. Remember? He finally got up to the Joker and he's like, "Oh, are you going to save that innocent girl or are you going to get me?" You're so predictable, Batman.
I loved that altercation at the beginning because like when it just turns into like a mecha like castle, Batman uses the Batmobile, it gets grabbed, it gets crushed, ejects out, he has like a bat glider / jet. That gets destroyed, and he has a bat bike come out of that.
I was going to say, yeah, the jet gets picked up, and then he's like, boom, bat bike.
I was waiting for the bat unicycle. No, I forgot. No, he did something else. He
had his bat suit.
The motorcycle turned into like essentially like a bat Hulkbuster. Because he holds up like the hand when he saves those people. And
after he throws Bane.
And then that ejects him out. Oh, dude, yeah. Sumo Bane.
Sumo
Bane was awesome.
The whole 10 seconds he was in
this.
this.
Jumps out with a bat bike, propels forward with like a jet engine. Yeah, Sumo Bane's able to catch that. That's how strong he is. But yeah, he disappeared immediately afterwards. What a disappointment.
Yeah, thrown against the wall, and that's Bane. Okay.
I was so pumped up for that. I was like, yeah, Sumo Bane. That's so cool.
Yeah.
But all their designs for everyone's cool. Especially because you got like these warring regions being controlled by Two-Face.
Yeah, they actually made Two-Face look cool.
Ivy.
I mean, that's hard to do, honestly. Dude, he's just a normal dude with a messed up face.
A normal dude.
Well, you know what I mean. Just his visuals, he's nothing appealing about him. Like, he's like, okay. Penguin looks cooler than he does, and he's a freaking penguin.
Yeah, I forgot Penguin's there too, with a bunch of his birds.
Voiced by SpongeBob.
Whoever did the voice for Joker in the Japanese.
Did a real good job?
Oh, yeah, I thought he did excellent.
He did. Tony Hale did a good job. You might know him from Buster from Arrested Development. He's also in a bunch of things. I think Veep as well.
I was really hoping you were going to say Scruggs.
Buster Scruggs. Let me tell you, buddy. As the story progresses, you get the Shoguns back. It seems like Grodd is on Batman's side now. When they dethrone Joker, Grodd, of course, betrays them. I don't know how you can trust that dude.
I also did like the fact that like he saved Robin, but only because of Minkichi. I was confused for a moment because, yeah, like Joker comes back, launches that boulder at him, and he just like blocks it off. Because I was like, he's saving Robin. Oh, wait, no, he's just saving the monkey.
Yep, and that's when he hands him the Flute of Destiny.
Which is where this movie took a turn for the worse, in my opinion.
Yeah, just that segment. It was an epic segment, but it just didn't fit at all. Like, they did a whole Power Rangers Megazord formation.
I did think it was funny that every single supervillain, even though they were fighting each other, had the exact same plan. They're like, I'm going to have a fortress, but guess what? I'm going to have it turn into a mech.
And then it has the ability to be controlled as one. But you got to think Grodd.
By Grodd.
You got to think Grodd was pulling the strings that whole time.
Yeah, I was like, what the? They all built these independently, but they all joined together? I forgot. I think it was Deathstroke just looked straight up like almost like Voltron for a moment.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And then the first Joker's actually had his face on it, and they somehow had a cannon that shot it with a Joker. Like, there's just so many inconsistencies.
That old school
with the
Joker
story.
face, I think that was like from like an old like Golden Age comic where he had like a Joker balloon.
Shocker, shocker. Joker survived. Then it leads us to one of the really, really awesome showdown samurai battle between the Bat and Joker.
But before that, when we were getting to the turning point, it was that super mech with all the other castles that joined together versus a bunch of monkeys that joined together into a super monkey. And then I think at some point that got surrounded by an outer layer of like a bunch of bats that formed a gigantic Batman.
I thought they were actually possibly going to let the villain win. Man, he got hit. He was like, oh. Falls back, does the whole like, I was like, oh my God, they're actually like, this will be crazy if they actually let the Joker win. He did not. He failed. The Bat was thinking ahead, and he's like, don't always believe what you see. And apparently now Bat can teleport through the bats.
Oh, dude.
Learn that through the Batcave.
He also pulled some like Naruto jutsu.
Bat jutsu.
Yeah, I think that's what he was doing when he was doing the whole bat thing, when he was disappearing, teleporting. He was using bat jutsu.
Bat jutsu.
Replacement jutsu.
Honestly, there are some pretty weird and crazy things about this.
They never properly explained that either, did they?
They don't need to. He's the Bat Clan. Bat Clan!
Batman has an actual superpower. I guess when all those bats turn into Batman, he can turn into bats.
Yep, and it left us with the cliche, typical ending of, you won't kill me, Bat. You don't have it in you. He drops him.
I was like, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we know what's going to happen
die
now.
This time, isn't he?
I guess I'll save you. I hate it. I know it's coming. They still did it. They pooped in my heart.
It was a fun watch. Besides those last like 20 minutes, completely just going off the rails.
Well, yeah, the mech thing was a little much. You might enjoy it. It might be awesome. I mean, the animation for it was crisp. It was just so... All the monkeys joined together as one and became the greatest Caesar of all time.
You know, I think the only people that were dying in this movie were the monkeys when they were getting torched. Because you see a bunch of them falling off, and I was like, I hope their little like wooden planks on their back is taking this damage.
But seriously, check it out. I mean, its animation was crisp. The storytelling itself was very good. It was strong. I thought it was a very clever way of approaching things like that. It just some points fell really flat with its inconsistencies in its plot, but voice acted really well. Action was really cool, especially the final fight. Wow, really done well. Any last thoughts, sir?
Yeah, if you like monkeys, this has one of the cutest baby monkeys ever.
Monkey Chi.
Yeah, Monkey Chi. Robin's like, I'm sorry, I gotta say goodbye. Monkey Chi seems super sad until he just sees Girl Monkey on the other side and just quickly gets over him.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. I really appreciate everything. Totally messed it up. Appreciate. We're just going to keep it going. One take. Let's go. Like, comment, and subscribe. It's probably going to see that on the screen anyways. Probably going to be added later, but I'm still saying it because that's how we do. Check us out at blah, 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 blah. And we love you guys. Bye.